for a while, so they think of it that this is a curse. And if they will get into taqwa a little bit even, they say that this is very valuable thing. Number 4, they are not eating up to their full, even though if that is 100% halal. And number 5, they think of others that they are good guys, but I am the sinner, may Allah forgive me. Now the nature of Usman Raziyallahu Ta'ala an, he had such a pious nature that is seen very clearly through his khutubat and sermons, especially the last khutbah and sermon which he gave. He said that Allah has given you this world so you may seek akhirah through it. That is not far, that you may devote yourself to this world. There is no doubt that this world is vanishing very soon, and akhirat is everlasting. So this quick passing word may not deceive you, and you become heedless about akhirah. So don't give priority to a vanishing word over akhirah which is everlasting. And ultimately, everybody is going back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The only shield which can protect you from the punishment of Allah, that is the fear of Allah. If you will have the fear of Allah, you will have His mercy. Allah has ghaira, so have fear from Him. And be with the jama'ah of Muslims, and do not get divided in sects. And remember, recall your mind about that ni'mah and favor of Allah, that you were disputing one another based on Quran. He made you one group, and you became brethren amongst. Another saying of him, he said that this world is a green garden. Its look will make you happy. So many people, they incline to it. Don't give any place to this world in your heart, nor hold it very firmly, because this world itself is not firm. That is going and vanishing. And this word, or worldly attachment, will not spare you as long as you will not leave it. Number 4, he said getting too much involvement in this worldly attachment, that is the darkness of heart. And looking for the good in akhirah, that is the light of heart. So make your hearts enlightened. One who will not give importance to this world and worldly attachment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves him. The one who say bye-bye to sins, the angels of Allah love him. And the one who does not expect anything from others, so the Muslims love him. He said that the taste of ibadat is in 4 things. Number 1, to fulfill your obligations. Number 2, to avoid forbidden and haram. Number 3, looking for the good pleasure of Allah and enjoining others to do good. And number 4, to protect yourself from the curse of Allah, so prevent others from evils. Number 7. There are 4 things. Its outfit is a virtue, but its inside is a fariza. Number 1. To meet and visit the good guys. So that is a virtue. And to follow them, that is fariza. Number 2. To recite Quran, that is a virtue. But to practice accordingly, that is fariza. Number 3. To visit the cemetery, that is virtue. But to prepare yourself for your own grave, that is fariza. Number 4. To visit an ill person, sick person, that is a virtue. But to ask him to write his will, that is fariza. Saying number 8. A mu'min, he has 6 types of fears. Number 1, fear from Allah, so he may not deprive him of iman. Number 2, fear from the inscribers' angels, so they may not write or inscribe such a thing which will put him down on the day of judgment. Number 3, fear of shaitan, not to make his actions null and void. Number 4, fear from the angel of death, that he may not take his ruh when he is not prepared for. Number 5, fear of dunya, so he may not get involved that much which will cause him to forget about akhirat. And number 6, fear of his own ahl ayal and family, that he may not get that much busy with them that he will forget about Allah. Saying number 9, وَكَانَ تَحْتَهُ كَنْزٌ لَهُمَا, the 2 orphans whose wall was built up by Khazir and Musa alayhim as-salawatu wa taslimat in Surah Al-Kahf. Their Khazir, he told Musa alayhi salatu wa salam, وَكَانَ تَحْتَهُ كَنْزٌ لَهُمَا, that I rebuilt this wall or this structure because these orphans, they had their treasury in the foundation of that structure. So he said, Sayyidina Usman, radiyallahu ta'ala an, that actually that was a plate of gold. Got it? A plank of gold. And on that golden plank, it was written, number 1, that it is amazing that somebody, he knows death and then he laughs. Number 2, it is amazing that somebody knows that this world is mortal, it will vanish, and still he is inclined towards it. Number 3, someone, he knows that everything is written there in taqdeer, but when he misses something good, so he is in grief. Number 4, amazing that someone who knows that I would be questioned on the day of judgment, and still he is accumulating wealth. And number 5, amazing, somebody he knows fire that it burns, and still he is committing sins. Number 6, amazing, somebody knows Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and still he gets involved with somebody else. Number 7, amazing, somebody knows Jannat and he is looking rest in this world and worldly things. Number 8, amazing, somebody knows that Satan is my enemy and still he is listening to him. And number 9, he said that those who know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they have 8 signs. Number one, his heart is in fear and expectation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number two, his tongue is in hamd and praise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number three, his eyes are in haya and crying because of Allah. And his intention, that is in tarki dunya. His intention is not to get involved in dunya. And his intention is to please Mawla, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Qawl number 10. That whosoever is committed to his prayer 5 times a day, Allah gives him 9 honors. Number 1, Allah loves him. Number 2, if he is performing his prayer properly, so his body will be fit, because that's a good bodily exercise of every organ. Number 3, the angels will protect and guard him. Number 4, he will have barakah in his house. Number 5, a glow will be seen, which is the symbol of Salihin on his face. Number 6, his heart will be getting softer further and further. Number 7, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will put him in the neighborhood of those people who will not be having khawf, fear, nor grief on the day of judgment. Saying number 11, he said that the most wastable things are 10. Number 1, that alim of deen, nobody is asking him for any question. Number 2, that knowledge of someone who is not practicing accordingly. Number 3, a perfect opinion which is not accepted. Number 4, that weapon which is not used in the path of Allah. Number 5, that masjid where the people are not coming to pray. Number 6, that mushaf or Quran which nobody is going to recite. Number 7, that wealth where nothing is spent in the good cause of Allah.